Well, Kelly's Court is back in session. On the docket today, one of the dirtiest political ads and the candidate who's now suing over it. The ad attacks Jon Huntsman, who's since dropped out of the presidential race. It shows his two adopted daughters, suggesting that he, when he was running, was a Manchurian candidate, one of his daughters adopted from China. The ad came from a group identifying itself as NH Liberty for Paul. It was unveiled before the New Hampshire primary, suggesting that it was from backers of Congressman Ron Paul, NH Liberty for Paul. Congressman Paul took a lot of heat for it, and now he is suing the anonymous maker of the ad for defamation. Here's a clip of the ad. All right, you get the picture. Joining me now, defense attorney Mark Eiglarsh and former prosecutor, current prosecutor, right, Anna Siga-Nicolazzi. Thank you both so much for being here. All right, so Ron Paul is ticked off about this, saying, I had nothing to do with it. I don't like the moniker that went up on that ad, and he wants to know who's behind the ad. Mark, can he make that happen? Can he find out, and can he recover?
The answer is yes. Listen, this was defamatory. It's not just dirty politics. This is filthy politics.
Defamatory to Ron Paul.
Why Well, of course, it is. And it was cleverly, cunningly, and bafflingly designed by those who wanted Ron Paul to look bad, by those allegedly from the Huntsman campaign. That's what Ron Paul's independent search found out. Clearly defamatory. It made it seem like he endorsed an ad that made Ron Paul look, I would say, racist.
Yeah.
It looked like he has poor judgment.
Whoever
and
behind.
I think that the only thing.
Whoever was behind the ad. But wait a minute. I just want to stop you on something, because now you're suggesting that Jon Huntsman was behind the ad himself. The ad attacking Jon Huntsman came from Jon Huntsman.
I'm saying that Ron Paul did an inquiry and found that it was either someone from his camp or someone close to his camp. That's what he's reporting. I have no firsthand knowledge of who made this.
All right, and that's just something that they may believe, Anna, because there was a theory out there that this was so bad against Jon Huntsman that it would evoke sympathy from some folks. That's unproven as of now. What Ron Paul seems to really be after, though, is to find out exactly who was behind the ad, and then I mean, how can he do it? It's somebody anonymous who posted this on the internet under that NH Liberty for Paul moniker.
And that's what they're trying to do with the lawsuit here. You know, I disagree with Mark that they are the ones who've been defamed. If we're talking defamation, Jon Huntsman and his former campaign, they're the easy yes. Here, clearly you can understand why Ron Paul's campaign is upset. There's been lots of speculation, swirling, and that it could potentially detract his supporters. However, we're really talking about a stretch here. It's pretty weak when you have the uploaders citing themselves as NH Liberty for Paul to then say that clearly that is going to be associated and ultimately found to be Ron Paul or affiliated with him. So our common sense is, yeah, you understand.
Right before the New Hampshire primary, when there's only one presidential candidate running with the last name Paul. I'm just saying, like, Ron Paul has a decent argument that people would naturally leap to the conclusion, Mark, that this is a Ron Paul supporter, not necessarily Ron Paul himself.
I think everyone's missing the point here. The ad is so unbelievably outrageous that nobody then thinks that Huntsman looks bad. The person who's making the ad looks bad. So whoever made it and gave Ron Paul the erroneous credit for it, they're doing Ron Paul the harm here.
But they didn't give Ron Paul the credit. They say at the end, vote for Ron Paul. Well, you can clearly, if you want to believe that it's authentic, believe it was a supporter. But that's a far stretch to say in a court. The inference, but again, you have to prevail in a court of law, and we're really going beyond what has traditionally been interpreted by the courts. And here they're really going to, I believe, be hard-pressed to say that they will prevail. However, what I do think is that Ron Paul already prevails in what they hope to achieve, to distance himself, to make it very clear they had no association, no affiliation, in no way endorsed this outrageous ad. But
well, they filed the lawsuit out in San Francisco, which is the home of Google in the Bay Area. And so we'll see whether they are successful in getting that. This is half the battle in these cases, in getting the name of the person who put this thing together. It's so anonymous on the internet. That's an interesting piece to this. Got to run. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.